Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lynette Gehrig, and today from our friends at Paper Rose Studio, I've got Lakeside Memories, 6x6 paper collection, and also embossed die cuts. You guys, I made this card with the embossed die cuts and the sweet little paper, as well as a cutting die from hot off the press. This is our giveaway card for this episode, so if you stick around, you'll learn how one lucky viewer can win this card to keep or share with a friend. So come play with us. All right, let's take a look at Lakeside Memories 6x6 paper collection. You're getting 18 double-sided papers, 3 of each of 12 designs, okay? So nothing on the front cover. And then you're getting these really adorable little cutouts for greetings, little sentiments, and on the back you're getting a gray chevron. These really beautiful butterflies and dragonflies. And then on the other side, you're getting a nice barnwood. These are just little segments that you can cut out. On the other side, you're getting the sepia sort of text newsprint. More cutouts with this border here, and these are great places for journaling. Another little border here. Beautiful like river rock. And then we've got our fish. And then this one is just really kind of a grungy, sort of green and gray paint. And then these are strips that you cut apart. I'm going to show you a technique with that. And then a tan sepia chevron. And then we're starting again, just make sure I got everything here. I said you're getting 3 of each of these. All right, we've got all those. And then we've got our embossed die cuts. For this one, you're getting 4 sheets that are 6x8. 4 designs, 1 of each. And the clear embossing on these just highlights each little image. It's so nice. And these just punch out really, really easily. Ooh, except when you tear them one day. There we go. You just punch out just like this. And then this got, I think it's nice that you've got some that are squared off in nice little rectangles. And this golden retriever is amazing. All the little ducks and butterflies. I like that the images, some of the ducks and the golden retrievers are facing one direction and then the other one. I tend to like to put them facing to the fold of my card instead of facing out. I don't know why, it's just a little quirky thing that I have. And then great with the beautiful swans too. All right, let's jump right into this one. Is a 7x5" card. I used a 10-fold card for this one, you guys. Then we didn't have any in stock of the non-stitched 10-fold, so I grabbed these instead. You could absolutely use these. In fact, they would add a cute little stitched detail to your card. So I'll add the regular ones and the stitched ones down below the video. If you're watching us on our paperwishes.com page for webisodes, all the items are listed down below the video, as well as color photos of the projects. And if you're watching us over on YouTube, just look below the video in the description box and you'll see a link that'll take you to this Paper Wishes webisode page. So the first thing I did is I took my card, whoops, my 10-fold card. So of course that means that the fold is at the top like this, but I placed it on the side, and then I just took that about the halfway part right there, and I just tore it all the way across, and then I used my paper cutter or my scissors just to take this little section out. Okay, so that's where we are right there, about halfway. Then I inked the entire edge of the card with khaki ink using my little blender tool, so I have that nice green edge. Then you guys, for this stand of trees back here, I used, for my solid papers, Forest Magic 12x12 solid cardstock goes really well with this paper collection. But I also used these camping cutting dies, also from hot off the press. And I used this stand of trees and then also that little tent. Thought that was really cute. So I took those trees and I die cut 2 of them from the green paper, and then inked the edges with the khaki ink, and then I glued them just along the inside of that torn edge. So they just sort of pop up from the edge. And then I tore some brown cardstock just so it was a little bit smaller here, but I tore that top edge and glued that there. Then I took some of the 6x6 paper and tore the top edge of that. And for those, I inked the edges of both the brown cardstock and this one. The torn edge is cocoa bean for both of those. So we're just stacking up the layers of paper there. And then you guys added the golden retriever, but I inked the edges of that as well using my little applicator tool because I think it just really softens those edges, and I foam taped that there. Then added brown script greeting dazzle stickers right there. Those are listed down below the video in the description. If you're watching us on YouTube, remember, check out that link. But down below our Paper Wishes webisode page, you'll find those. Then on the inside, use the rest of that paper, that 6x6 paper, here and here, inking the top edge. And then, of course, I used some blue paper, solid paper first to cover my card. And you'll notice I just inked as well with the green khaki. So inked, glued the blue paper, then that great river rock right there. And then for this one, for the tent, I die cut that from blue as well, but then I just took the edge of my little applicator tool with some brown ink. I just kind of went like that just to define those little folds or flaps on the tent. Glued that, foam taped that, took another stand of these trees and used sort of the really dark green gray paper and then glued that there, and then inked the edges of this and glued that there. So yeah, so how we do our card giveaway, you guys, is every week on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Basically, if I'm hosting the webisode, I'm doing a card giveaway. And how we work that is we're trying to promote our Paper Wishes YouTube channel. So if you're watching us on our Paper Wishes webisode page at paperwishes.com, just hop on over to YouTube and you can search our My Paper Wishes channel there. We ask that you subscribe to the channel and then like this video with a thumbs up and then leave us a comment. So like, comment, subscribe. And then after about a week, we'll reply to one of the comments by saying, congratulations, YouTube username blank. So you have to know your YouTube username. And it's also a good idea to hit that notification bell at the top right-hand corner because that will let you know when we are announcing winners or when we drop a new video. I do a card giveaway every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So you would need to subscribe once, but like and comment on those videos to participate. So you get 3 chances a week to try to win. So yeah, I would love to send this to somebody in a little happy mail. All right, so this one, you guys, is a 5 by 6.5 inch card. And on this one, the fold right there in the center, take a little scoreboard and we're just going to make a little gatefold card. Really, really simple. And then I'm just taking this and I'm going to score it. Since this is a 5 inch wide card, I'm scoring it at the halfway, right there at 2.5 inches. And then I'm just going to turn this over, make sure everything is squared up there, and then 2.5 inches. And then I'm going to glue some paper right here so that it reinforces where that original fold was and makes it lie flat. And then these other flaps, I'm just going to fold right over there like this. We're just going to take our bone folder and go over that, and you have a really easy gatefold card. All right, and then I went ahead and I took some of that solid cardstock, used the green, and just cut panels that were a little bit smaller. And then remember the panels here that I told you that were long? And I want to show you these. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so for this one, I just cut this one using my paper trimmer and this one. And then I inked the edges of those with a little brown ink, and then I just glued them right over those mats of green. Then the little celebrate there came from our primary inside out dazzle stickers, and we call them inside out is because there's something to put on the outside of your card and then something coordinating to go on the inside, which is really nice. And yes, we know primary colors are yellow, blue, and red. We really think that you needed a brown, a green, and a black as well. So I used the brown right there for celebrate, Used a little bit of brown ribbon, and then I secured it at the back with a little adhesive. And then when you just open the tie, inside, we've got the leftover long panel right here. And then on this side, I took the other panels that I was showing you before, like this. And then there's actually 2 images here, but I went ahead and cut that so that it fit here. And then some green cardstock and some of that great fish paper, glued that there to cover that seam or the original fold. So now it's going to lay nice and flat. And then here's one of the cutouts, and here's also one of the little embossed die cuts right there. And then the happy birthday greeting in green at the center. So wouldn't this be a great card to give to your guy? Really fun one. All right, so for this one, you guys, this is also a 6.5 by 5 inch card, okay? Covered that with that blue paper. Then we've got that butterfly, moth, dragonfly paper. Just cut that a little bit smaller. And then I took some of the wood grain paper and cut that into strips as well. I'm gonna find that one, here we go. And the strips I cut were about 1 1/4 inches, 3 of those, glued those. And then I love these peel off border stickers. These are called gold leaf borders, and just went right over the top of this brown wood grain, and then foam taped all of these little clear embossed die cuts. This is a cutout from the book, and I went ahead and inked the edges of that, foam taped it to a little scrap left of the same blue, and then foam taped that. This is a really easy card to put together. Just a little thanks there. All right, and then this one, you guys, also a 5 by 6.5 inch, but I did something a little bit different with this one. I actually took some brown cardstock from that Forest Magic cardstock, and I cut it to, it's 5.5 inches wide, because I left a little bit to go around the back, and it's 4.5 inches tall, this brown piece. And then I took my scoreboard and I scored it at 1/2 inch on the right side, and then used some of that wood paper again, just cut it a little bit smaller. And then these fantastic black corner dazzle stickers right there in the corner. I had a scrap left of this little fish paper, so I glued that across the card, inked the edges of this little retriever die cut and foam taped that. This is a cutout from the paper pack, Greetings from Nature, and I just glued it on this side, but I foam taped it on this side to make up for the difference between the height. Then there's just a little bit of brown gingham ribbon from our brown ribbon set, and I just added that right there with a little adhesive. Now we're going to open this flap, and on this side we've got a little square of that gray chevron paper. Added that little duck right there, and then on this side, you guys, so this is now the body of the actual card, okay, and I just took 1/2 inch off of each end, the top and the bottom. Just took a paper trimmer, went all the way over the edge, and then just trimmed it right there, and then took that fish paper and glued that to the center, inked the edges brown, and then here just a little strip of brown paper to mat one of these little die cut pieces with the embossing. Added some more of these corner pieces right there, so that when you open this, there's a definite height difference in all these pieces. Then I took some of the scraps that I had left over and I just cut them into strips, gave them different ends here, a little dovetail, a little notch, and layered those. Added that little duck there. For this one, this is the 6.5 inch tall card we started with. I took a strip of blue paper and added it there. Here's a 6 inch tall by 5 inch wide strip of paper. Actually, it's 6 inches by 5.5. And then I just inked the edges of that as well and glued that. Here's a little white cardstock that I had, so you have a nice little place to write a note, inking the edges. Here is one of the little cutouts, added that, or no, this is one of the little embossed pieces. And this is a cutout, thinking of you from the collection. So this all just gets flipped out just like this. Flip, 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 flip. And it makes a really nice presentation. Okay? You guys, so many fun things to do with this. I mean, if you're a nature lover, if you have some guy cards to do, we think that we have got you covered with this. This is a really fun one. Let me grab all of these here. Don't forget, this one right here is our giveaway card. We would love to give that away, so definitely participate in that. So we have a fantastic money saver on this collection. It's right there on the right-hand side if you're watching us on our Paper Wishes webisode page. All the other items are listed down below the video, so just check that out with full color pictures of the cards as well. And if you're watching us over on YouTube, just look below the video in the description box and you'll see a link that'll take you to this Paper Wishes webisode page. Don't forget to participate in our card giveaway, and I'll see you in the next one.